Welcome back, everybody. Going into the final hour of One Punch Lizard, Nebula Jazz. I don't want to finish. I'm so excited about this fight, but I don't want to finish it yet. I think what happens when we start, is like it's dark, right? We see the black screen after the commercial. We fade in, but before we get the visuals, we hear a scream of rage, right? We hear like a fighting sound. We hear a roar of anger, and we see Rex crouched down as Thuja throws herself on top of you, screaming. And Rex, you get knocked back. I would like to see if the two of you tumble off this cliff and down the hill.
I thought you were going to say tumble off this cliff and die.
I mean,
the D sound was
yeah, tumble off this cliff
suspect.
and
Die.
Don't enjoy it.
All right, what am I rolling here?
Well, I don't know. What do? You feel something. It's like you get hit from behind by a freight train made out of angry lady. So what do you do to protect yourself? Do you try to like dodge out of the way? Do you? I mean, I think you really be quick because you didn't really see it coming.
You can't really dodge a sneak attack, right? I think.
Yeah.
I think I'm facing the cliff when I get hit, and I think instinctively Rex goes to like grab a rock or something to stop himself going over the side.
Mm-hmm.
He's already been like hit with the brunt of it, so now it's like he's just looking to damage limitation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
He knows immediately like who that scream belongs.
Oh, you've heard this scream.
Yeah.
Many times.
He's like, she's trying to take me over this cliff. I have to.
Yeah, she doesn't give a fuck about herself, so she throws herself on you. So the two of you will tumble off the cliff.
Okay.
So okay. Roll.
Flashy.
I think in this case, yeah. I mean, flashy is more about being like showing off, right? But you are doing kind of like an acrobatics like thing as you get tossed over and like grab the edge. So yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay. Cool.
So we'll say difficulty. This is just like resisting the effects. This isn't. If you do really well, you won't go over the edge at all. But this is like resisting how bad it goes after. I'm gonna say difficulty 5.
Ooh.
Do you want to spend a fate point, or do you want to just like go over the edge?
I'm going.
Okay, so you mark your first stress box.
Okay.
If you don't have it marked already, you can mark the 2 if you have the 1 marked. And you feel Thuja crash into you from behind. The two of you go over the edge, and then you just like roll down this cliffside, getting battered along the way, and just like punching you and screaming, and like the two of you crashing into rocks, and you come to a terrible thud. You're on your back. You bang your head on the ground on a chunk of rock that the force of your landing on it separates it from the rest of the hill, and it's like sliding down the hill slowly on this like magma river. So there's a river of blue magma. There's you. Thuja is on top of you. She's got one leg on either side of your hips, and she's like punching you in the face and screaming. Her outfit is torn, sort of like barbarian queen style, and yours too. Like both of you have like the sexy ripped outfit version of your costume on. And she's just screaming and like punching you in the face. What do you do?
Just like grab her fists and attempt to like subdue.
Okay, so you're gonna try to like roll her over and like pin her down?
Not even that, just like grab her fist so she can't like punch anything anymore. Because I realize like we're on this piece of rock, and if she misses my head, she might break it, and we're going into the magma.
Yeah, totally. So she's like screaming, and it's just wordless rage as she tries to like beat you to death with her admittedly quite strong fists. So let's have an opposed forceful roll. If you beat her, you can hold her in place long enough at least to talk to her for a minute.
Okay.
And I have a fate point here that I can use. Okay, forceful. Here it comes. You got a 4. She got a 4. All right. So I mean, I think the tie here is like you can't stop her, but she can't hurt you. So you don't really get to unless you spend a point. In which case you can beat her.
I'm down to just have a stalemate.
Okay. All right. So the two of you are rolling around on the thing, and I think the thing here is that she goes to punch you. Maybe you have to move so she doesn't bash your face in. You can't quite grab her. And yeah, she punches the rock underneath you, and it starts to crack, and you can feel it separating under you. And there's like this wash of terrible heat from below, and you can feel your skin drying out in the magma's horrible aura. What do? You can take an action now.
Rex he's like kind of like blocking punches. He's like, this is a terrible place for a fight.
And I think she manages to get her senses about her enough to say, she's like, no, Rex, this is a perfect place for a fight, our last. And she grabs you and she like slams you into the rock, and she's basically trying to like break the rock with your body, so the two of you fall into the magma. She's had it fucking up to here with your shit. This fight needs to end in the sweet orgy of blood and fire that she has long deserved from you.
Rex is obviously way bigger and stronger than Thuja, so I want to just like pick her up and just like throw her to the nearest like bank.
Okay, all right. Let's roll. So she, I think
She wants the D as in death.
Death by snooze.
God.
Yeah, you're gonna roll forceful because you're strong. You're gonna try to throw her, and she's gonna do the same. She's gonna try to resist you. So the number to beat here is gonna be 6.
Ooh,
Dead
I got
weight.
4.
Okay. Do you want to spend a point to tie it up?
What happens if I tie it up?
It continues to like I'm tracking. I know a number of times before the thing breaks up, so I'll just add another tick to that.
I guess what, like nothing happens if
you tie, like the little island you're on continues to break up.
Well, I'm trying to like throw her to the bank, right? So I'm not exasperating the situation even if I fail.
Well, no, if you fail, you're gonna take damage, right? She's gonna burn you.
No, because I'm attacking.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So I would get a boost is what happens if you don't do anything.
I will. Sure. I'll use my point to tie up.
Okay. All right.
I'll use my compellingly heroic aspect. As much as we dislike each other, I don't want us to die in a pool of magma. I want to take the heroic route and save us both.
Okay. All right. Well, so you do. She grabs you and like slams you into the thing. And I think that, she slams you down, and it crumbles the barrier some more. Heat starts to wave up, and the heat from the magma, we get a shot of her with the stars behind her, and the heat kind of like blowing her hair back. And she has her like kind of like mascara tears, facial markings, and she's sneering at you with a hatred that you've never, like, it's so extreme. She is her most vulnerable emotionally, though certainly not physically, to you in this moment, in the sense that she hates you more than she's ever hated anybody, which to the Agarans is exactly the same as like she's showing you the most love she ever possibly could have here. Like, this is the truest, most powerful emotion she's got, and she's giving it to you. And what's great?
What a great day.
What's great is that you don't have any fate points left. So
I knew this would happen. I knew you. I saw the twinkle in your eye, and I was looking at my teammates, begging for a compel that never came. And here we are. I am at your mercy.
So yeah, I mean, I think in this situation, we've talked about there like being the sort of ultimate like commitment to an Agaran is like dying in battle with them. But I mean, I think there may be another way. I think that if this turns from a fight scene to like not just the two of you boning, but like an actual romantic, like making love on the magma island scene, I think that could change her, right? If you could show a side of both her and you that maybe is not about the fact that you're like the universe's biggest freak, but that you're actually this is your compellingly heroic thing. This is a heroic moment of love, and not a gross, weird sex pervert thing.
I'm not into her anymore.
I would like to posit that you are. that maybe somewhere deep inside of you, there is an ember long dormant that is flaring up in your heart for dear Thuja here. Now, I'm not telling you how to play your character. I'm just saying.
I mean, you are, because I have any fate points.
So the compel is only in the moment. I'm compelling your behavior, not a permanent change. And maybe the two of you need to have a conversation about this, but this is a moment of change for the two of you, that like maybe you start to question whether you do or don't love her, and maybe she starts to question whether or not she needs to bite your face off. Maybe there's another way. But if anybody else has
So what are you compelling me to do, sir?
Bang
me to
that
bone her
lady.
on the
Yeah.
magma rock?
Yeah,
Bone
to turn this
down.
Yeah, and not just bone down, but like the sweet Kenny G saxophone in the background.
That's what we meant.
Yeah, pure like this is a different kind of Rex Thuja horizontal mambo.
Things get hot in Magma Town, my friend. Turn up the heat.
I want to see. What I want here is for Rex to bone her not just with his shark penis, but with his heart.
With his heart, yeah.
Right. Okay, I guess.
We can deal with the ramifications of it later. But that's what I think I would like to suggest. Now, obviously, again, I want to really illustrate here. Like, just because you don't have any points doesn't mean like you can tell me a Rexier version of this. You can suggest, an alternative. But I mean, all I'm asking is that the scene ends with like, yeah, fucking careless whisper, and like it's shot exactly like a cheesy romantic making love scene, only with lightning and magma and all
Literally
that.
on a small rock in a river of
on a
magma.
rock in a river of magma. Yeah.
It's like what we all thought the end of Return of the King was going to be.
I was gonna say the end of Revenge of the Sith, but that's
Yeah, same thing,
right,
same
yeah.
premise.
So
two
many,
men,
so
same
many
lava.
similar premises.
Yeah.
I think Rex realizes that there's only one way out of this situation. She's been outraged at him before, not quite to this degree, but there's always been one steadfast solution, and much to his dismay, he's kind of into it in the moment.
Yeah, something about this is different. And I love the idea that it starts as a like, oh, I know how to fix Thuja, right? Like I could just screw my way out of this situation. And maybe it starts that way, where like she lunges in for a headbutt and you kiss her, and then something happens and we get like the heavy metal cover of Careless Whisper instead. And and it turns into a very tasteful love scene.
Does that exist?
In my mind it does. A lot of double kicks, freaking shredding guitars, and then also a saxophone. Okay, cool. So that's what we see. We pan away to give
they float downstream.
Yeah, to give the two
searing magma river.
Yeah, to give the two of you some privacy as magma like bubbles up around you. It's a metaphor, and and the scene fades.
Make it tasteful.
So yeah, keep it tasteful. So meanwhile,
I found it and it's amazing.
Yes. So
Anyway.
Meanwhile, back on Planet Anime Battle, Quinn, we hear again a roaring and we see you holding the canister over your head in the hangar. Alarms going off, spaceships all over the place. This transformed Commodore battle scepter floating before you, I guess now. What do you do? It was your turn to attack, I believe.
So I pick up this barrel, and of what I assume is spaceship fuel.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then I just like crack it open and just chug it like a beer.
What's great is that the top of it has like a similar release, like a beer test, like kunk, and you just like pour the thing.
It has like a big alien skull on the side that says like hazardous.
Yeah, totally.
Flammable.
Yeah. It's got a picture of like a lizard like coughing up fumes and dying.
Yes.
Do you actually shotgun it? Do you like hold it up and punch a hole at the bottom? And
Just like it's gone in maybe 3 seconds. Just gone.
Cool. An imaginary power bar fills. Okay, so you drink it and it's like got this glowing green fluid like dripping off your face and it's burning holes in the floor, like it's hissing and there's like smoke coming up. You throw the empty aside and we see the Commodore look at you like, what are you doing? And then what?
Then I unleash a Godzilla like yes.
All right.
It's a
So you
flamethrower.
blast fire at him. All right.
Yes.
So this could be forceful or flashy. It's up to you, whichever you prefer.
Oh my god. Can I use my bonus for flashy if I'm doing this like show off to people? Be like, look at this amazing thing I'm about to do.
Yeah, I think this is fine. It counts.
All right, sure. F it. Let's do flashy. This is so dumb.
Okay.
I'll take a 6.
Okay, you got a 6. All right. I mean, I think this is not a tactic he expected. So he's gonna try to dodge out of the way quickly, rather than block the attack. All right, he got a 4. So you beat him by 2. And I've already used my fate point, so he will fill another stress box. All right, so he takes his next stress box. And yeah, you bathe him in nuclear fire, belching forth the with the force of a fusion engine, right, from a fighter ship. So yeah, it's just beam of blue-green energy blasts out of him, and yeah, he tries to get out of the way, but not in time. And I think that he comes away, and like part of his shoulder and his arm are all burnt crispy, and there's smoke coming off of him, and he's kind of glowing blue. And he yeah, I guess if you want to do it harder, you have points and No Mere Mortal if you want to boost it. You get 2 free boosts still.
I want to save those.
Save those? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I think he staggers back. You blast him with fire, and he holds the scepter aloft and reaches out with a hand, and we can hear a creaking sound as the floor around you and the nearby fighter ships and some of the crates start to slide towards you. You get lifted off the ground, and he's creating a little like a vacuum or a gravity thing, so it pulls all this stuff towards you and crushes you. So here comes his attack. I think he's using the environment, so it's going to be clever. Here we go. And I got a 1. All right, so this is an opportunity for you to get another boost. What are you going to do?
I want to use my awesome breath to vaporize everything he sends at me.
Nice. Okay, so like a ship and like a bunch of other stuff.
Oh, everything is just incinerated.
Okay.
It's all gone.
All right, defend with forceful. All right, well, you're both terrible, so you do it, but you don't get any boost. It's fine. All right, so I think that's the end of the blast, right? So you like shoot out with the fire, blow up a bunch of stuff that's around you, and then like cough and like smoke comes
like a
out.
Disgusting belch.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally little bubbles. Awesome. Okay, but it is your turn. So you're standing in a little bit of a crater from the gravity bubble he tried to create around you. There's a bunch of ships that are on fire, people scattering. What do you do?
I want to lunge at him, but grab at the scepter itself and try to like not just rip it away, but like rip the dude's hand off, like clean off, just like pull his hand off.
All right, sure. So go ahead and do forceful there. Ooh, shit. All right. So he is going to defend. He's defending with clever. So here's what I think happens. You run up to him, and there's a brief kind of spat as he swings at you. You block a few times. You grab his wrist and you pull, and his wrist starts to come apart. Right, his skin tears, and you can see the flesh and like bone underneath. But there's all this red kind of energy between them. And the even as you tear him apart, the scepter begins to knit him back together. Let's see if you can.
Oh, damn.
All right. So he's got to resist 1. I think what happens is you pull his hand away and it tears at his flesh, but you're not able to hold on to the scepter, and the scepter reforms a hand for him of kind of crackling red energy.
He has an energy hand now.
Yeah, energy hand now, and he's holding the scepter. And he looks at the hand and he looks at you and he says, "You see, foolish lizard, you cannot even harm me. I am immortal." And like light is fucking pouring out of his eyes and his mouth. And there's lightning, and he's very impressive. But he does take a mild consequence because I don't have the 1 or the 2 box. I'm gonna save the 3. So I'm gonna give him a mild consequence of Let's see. Energy overload. So he's not entirely in control of this. So what that means is he now has a it's not a boost exactly, but he's got a damage that you get one free shot on. So the Commodore, and he has energy overload. Now he can't use this for anything, and you get one free shot on it anytime you want, and then you can subsequently use it. So he's not totally in control of this power, but he thinks he is. So he looks at it and he's like floating, and he's just like ah. And you're right up close to him, and I think he lunges out with his energy hand and grabs you by the throat, and he's gonna try to choke the life out of you with his cool
energy hands.
Rude.
So here comes the energy hand. And he gets
whoa!
an 8. Oh shit!
Oh.
So he wraps his energy fingers around your neck. How do you defend yourself?
I go to grab at the energy fingers and like sort of pull it away.
Apart. Okay. Okay, so you've got 4 to account for. You're going to need to use some of these.
All right. Well, I want to use No Mere Mortal because I'm super strength.
That brings you up to 6.
And then can I use the energy overload so that he can't control it and it like dissipates?
Yeah. Okay, so you it's a tie, and that's fine for a defend. So he grabs you, and I think that at first, he's just like, he lifts you up, and he's just like laughing and crushing your throat, and there's lightning and fire spilling off of it. But obviously you're too strong for him to just like snap your neck, because you're No Mere Mortal. You're the Blixnort. And as he realizes that, he gets angry, right? And he pours more energy. And so the hand becomes like it covers your shoulders and your neck and part of your head. It gets all huge. And you can see his energy aura kind of flicker. And then he kind of overloads the force hand and drops down. He's not floating anymore. And just for a second, he has none of the red energy. His eyes aren't glowing. He kind of has a brownout as he drops to one knee, and he's like flickering. And he looks up at you kind of angry. And he's like kind of looking in shock as his hand flickers in and out of reality. What do you do?
Quinn charges at him.
Yeah.
Full speed, right towards where the airlock is, to the giant like spaceport airlock.
Yep.
And is gonna just push this dude out into space. Because F this guy.
Fantastic.
Every single one of y'all have tried to kill a person. In this sesh.
You got a 4?
It's happening.
I've got my life together.
You rush towards him. He brings up his hands and grabs you. You push him. He slides back. There's the trail of fire. His aura flares up again. Do you want to spend a point?
No, the 4 was for the. I haven't even rolled yet.
Oh, you haven't rolled yet. Okay, so that's what you have to be. You got to be to 6. So his aura flares up as you crash into him. Start pushing back towards.
Knowing me, I should have shut up. Let's find out what this.
So you got a 3. So that your choices here. I get a boost with an extra shot, or you have to spend some points.
All right, I want to use No Mere Mortal, and I want to use my Destroy the Great Library, because when it comes down to it, I'm like the badass, and I'm gonna look. If I can destroy the Great Library, I can knock this asshole out an airlock into space.
Yeah. So this looks like the immovable object situation. Like it's like watching a strongman try to pull a plane. Like you hit him, and there's a moment where the aura flares up around him, and you can feel it burning your scales, and you're trying to push him, and he grins at you like, "What are you trying to do here?" And then we see just a bit of movement, right? He pushes back slightly, and he kind of looks at you like, "What? No!" and like flares up the aura and pushes back against you like a comet. So there's a fire breathing out the back of him, and you start to push him, and pretty soon you become the locomotive picking up steam and are shoving him back. And you have a 7, so you're gonna deal him 1, for which I need to take another hit. So I think this is gonna be overconfidence in his power, and this one is a moderate consequence. And I think you do it.
An insidious killer.
It is. It sure is. And you'll get a free boost on this, and you push him back through the wall. Describe that. What does that look like?
So like as he gets pushed back through the wall, what is the outcome that happens there? Do you?
I mean, you can do whatever you want. You deal him a little bit of harm, like he's not out yet, but
Okay.
you have narrative control. You describe what happens.
So as he starts pushing, of course it has to go over the top anime where it's like, oh, and sparks and shit, and like fire is up there for some reason, and as this guy in his overconfidence stares down Quinn looks him in the eyes and of course says, I am Quinn Tlatzalok, the last guardian of the 12 Serpentes, the damn son of Slyn. Today your families will lament and remember your choice not to run. And then they both plummet into space.
Yeah, I think that's the thing where the two of you finally, like, you're picking up speed, like I said, like a locomotive as you're saying this, and then bam, at the end you hit the hangar door, and we cut suddenly to a slightly shaky cam shot of the outside, the Baroque. Obviously these like airlock doors aren't big metal things that slide apart. It's like a beautiful stained glass window, like this like hyper complex like lace of steel, and it shatters in this beautiful cascade of gold and red glass drifting through space, and then from it the red ball of fire of the two of you blast out into space, and you're caught in his fire aura, and he grabs you and pulls you close, and he says, I don't care who you are, alien. You die here today. And he like looks out into space and he says, the void will be your grave. And he brings up the
sound
scepter.
Comes out because there's no sound in space.
Right. No,
but there is.
We're in a cool bubble.
There is,
we're in a cool fire bubble.
Yeah.
You're in his cool fire bubble. It's fine.
We're perfectly okay. Everything's fine.
Yeah, and he lifts the scepter up, and out of the bottom of it, a big blade, like Psylocke style, of like red, whatever, magic energy pops out, and he's gonna try and stab you in the chest with it.
Okay.
So here comes the stab. I got a 5.
Man, I want to
wait. I'm gonna compel you.
Okay.
For the most
you might do the same thing I want to do, so I'm gonna let you say it.
Anime outcome.
I'm ready for this. It might be the same thing I'm thinking, so I'm ready for this.
You deliberately get stabbed.
Yes.
So that his hand is tangled up.
Yes.
And then you have two hands to wrest the staff away from him.
So what's the aspect you're compelling? Which of Quinn's aspects?
I'm in.
Hang on. Which one can we compel?
Meticulous jar collector, because this guy's going in an urn.
No, he's the Blake Snort. He's endured pain in every way possible. What's a little stab?
Yeah.
So
dig it.
he's gonna take that stab, and he's gonna wrestle that staff away from the guy's other hand.
Okay. All right. So that means I think in this case you're defending not with force, because you're just like taking the hit. You're defending with like careful, maybe.
I'd say force.
Well, no, force is like you would be like resisting. You like grit your teeth and you're like, yeah, I can handle it. I'm tough. This feels so much more like Zen. So much more like yes, go ahead and stab me. I've endured all other pain. This is nothing, right? That's for me. That's what I think. What do you think, Jesse?
Well, I feel like here's the thing. Normally I would say forceful, but I like the idea that he's just like,
I think it's played
lizard Buddha, right? Like,
yeah. Like, stab me. This is what I've wanted. Yeah.
No, so I don't think he's like that. I think he's like, it's
your compel. I'll do whatever you tell me to do.
It's tactical, right?
Well, the compel, I mean, that's the question here is if you're using Blixnort Liebelacta, that has nothing to do with you being physically strong, right? It's about like enduring emotional suffering. It's about transcending your base nature. And that to me feels more like careful than like forceful, right? Okay. This whole fight has been forceful.
I wasn't going to say forceful, but we can do careful. Careful works.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, cool. So I get difficulty 4. All right. So remember now, Quinn, you're still doing like pretty okay as far as the fight goes. You can take your consequences. You're not out of the fight yet. So you can take a level 4, a moderate consequence from this, and it won't kill you. It'll just give me something I can boost off of. You can also use his overconfidence against him, and you have 2 fate points, so you can bring that up to a 5, or you can reroll.
I want to use his overconfidence. Fuck, it's too anime not to get it right.
Yeah.
I want to use the overconfidence to bump it to 3, and then let's just use both of my my points to bump it over the top.
Okay. What this will do? So if this is him attacking you, so if you tie it,
you wanna save those, Jesse. So
you want to tie. Don't. Yeah. You want to just tie this one, because otherwise you're creating a boost with a fate point that you're gonna get back anyway.
All right. Yeah. All right.
So which aspect do you use? I mean, I think I know, obviously, but.
I mean, I feel like using. Here's the question: did Sam already? Blickstorm's already gone because Sam compelled me to use that.
No, he just compelled you using it. You can use it now. You can boost now.
Oh, well then, sure, we'll do that because that's the easiest one.
Okay. So so he says this void will be your grave, and he brings up the scepter, and the beam sword pops out of it, and he shoves it into your chest. We see it pop out of your back, and like your blood congeal in little blobs go out the back of you and float away in space. And he jams it into you, and your eyes go wide. But what happens after that, right? This is the like, oh my God, Quinn died moment, right? Where he jams the sword into you, and he's like scowling as he's pouring this fire into your body. But then what happens? Because you can describe how his overconfidence or whatever, like describe how you beat it, and then you get to make a move. You get to do your thing. So
he stabs me with it, and in his overconfidence is that he lets go of the actual weapon, because he like stabbed me with it, and so there I am floating in space with the actual blade in me. Yeah, so he's let go of the weapon, and we're sort of like floating in the weird fire bubble together. And it allows me a chance to grab it, and I want to kick him out of the fire bubble and into space. That's F that dude.
Sure. So this is very much the like Transformers the movie moment where it's like you've got the touch like comes on as your hand reaches up and grabs the scepter, and then you pull the like fiery sword out of your chest, and he's looking at you like, oh what? No, this is impossible. I killed you. And he's flickering with fire. You can see it starting to, the scepter is maybe changing its mind about him, and he's starting to lose his power. And you hold the sword up over your head.
I like that right now the scepter has a sentience. Like at this very moment, the scepter's like,
moment,
always.
You've got the power. Yeah, so that's exactly what's happening right now. Is you like unsheath this blade from your own chest and like hold it aloft, and now you can hit him with it or kick him out of the fire.
Like fucking He-Man if he was a lizard.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. Lizard.
All right. Yeah, and then I just kick it. I just kick him out of this thing.
Okay, great. Go ahead and roll your forceful.
Oh my God.
Oh no, Quinn. Oh no. All right. He's going to defend. He's going to defend with his. I think so. He's like sort of stunned. You kick him in the chest. He's gonna try to grab you, like he's getting pushed away. So let's see if he's quick enough to do that.
So silly. Oh,
you can do this, Quinn.
So he's got a 1. He's basically tapped out. If he takes any more of any damage at all you gotta do is one.
Of course, I have to use my thing on him.
He's got no fate points left.
Yeah, I have no fate points. If you spend that point.
Yeah, and this time, I want to use Everyone Hates a Lizard Man, because fuck this guy.
All right. Do you want to? I mean, you can just add 2, and you can beat him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what happens here is that it's not just that you're killing this dude, right? But there's a symbolism of lizard man who the universe considers to be the kind of lowest, most barbaric form of life in the universe, killing one of the most powerful, perfect entities in the universe, right? And a Commodore of the Navy at that. He's like a classy spectacle, and you're crap, but you have turned the tides. And and you go ahead and describe your final moment here. You draw the sword. You're full of the sudden rage and power of the scepter. What happens?
It looks like I'm going to bring this scepter blade down on him, and he has
maybe he brings his arms up, like, no, don't.
Right, and instead I just kick him in the balls, like right through this, like just right in the nuts, out through this fire field, like into space. He's like, ah! and because F this guy, he gets sucked into the engines and is vaporized.
Perfect. I'm
Damn.
about it. So so when you beat someone in a conflict, yeah. So the situation here is that, like, if I had given, then I could have been like, okay, let's talk about, like, maybe he gets something and you get something, but whoever takes you out narrates what happens to you. So it is totally within your right to
also,
be like, kick him into the engine.
Recoil from you kicking him sends you back in the direction of the ship.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and so
the ship that's being destroyed. Oh, this is bad. This is not good.
You kick him.
That's better than the coldness of space.
I guess you're right.
You kick him, and he floats back, and he starts to, like, freeze because he gets kicked out of the bubble, and there's little wisps of fire that drift off him as they disappear. And it goes out, and he looks at you like he's got to look up, like, what? How is this? Isn't even possible? And his eyes start to freeze over, and he, like, coughs a last breath, and he kind of, like, starts to float away, and then gets sucked into the engine, just blowed out in the back, and disappears.
Of course, that part of the engine explodes as well because everything in the ship is falling apart now. Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing is he's a load-bearing type of Commodore, and so all the fighting damage, the ship is starting to, like, break apart, and we can see it. We pull back, and we can see the ship blowing up and bits of, like, white fire spouting out of various pieces of it, and you kick back in and sort of drift back towards the ship. So we cut away. We fade out on that scene, and we crossfade to another scene where we are on board a spaceship. And we see a lonely Aurora who has no boyfriend and has no dog and has no grandpa. Well, you have a grandpa, but he's pissed off at you. And you're headed towards where? You're going to meet up with Rex?
Yeah, I'm meeting up with Rex.
Okay. So what I think we see... Oh my God.
I tried to save him, kind of.
This is ridiculous. So we see the Houdini. This is a big gaudy ship, the Houdini.
Okay.
And it's coming in towards the planet, and we see the planet's surface, and we get the title right. We see, what is it called? Dead End? So we see the planet Dead End, time till apocalypse, 36 minutes. And we see the ship flying down towards it. We follow the ship, and the ship flies over a bunch of, like, magma flows and stuff. And we see down below a river of magma with a little island on it. And we can just barely make out two figures, like, reclining in the magma. And the ship floats overhead.
We've been burning down for 13 hours?
Oh, yes.
Yo!
And so you're taking a brief respite from the eternal bone down of love.
It's not brief. We're done.
And yeah, that's what you do.
Don't listen to him.
And so the ship floats in. The two entwined lovers do not notice the ship until the automated spotlight comes on. And Aurora, you're at the ship's controls, and you can see down on the rock a very naked Rex and a very naked Thuja lying next to each other on this huge broken up.
Rex has just stood up, like, covering his eyes, just
and we see
full glory.
Yeah, we see Rex from behind, right? The silhouette of naked Rex. And and the spotlight onto you. And then we cut to Rex from the waist up. Yeah, like, arms up. And his chest is all, like, covered in, like, scratches. And yeah, he's a little disheveled. And Aurora, you can see him. And the ship has, like, a PA system, so you can talk to him.
Oh, yeah, I totally... Oh, so that's what the shark people look like naked. See, I was gonna, look it up, but I thought that would be a little too weird. See, but no, I found you now, so that's great. I would take a scan to study your species a little more, but I kind of had to shut down. Hey, we should probably get out of here, by the way. I just thought you should know it's like 36 minutes till blow up, That's all she's... And then like that's when you see like the like this hatch open in the bottom, and what is it, a ladder type thing comes down to sort of pick them up. So.
What do you do, Rex?
I don't know if you knew it's me. It's me, Aurora.
I mean, you definitely recognize Aurora's.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I say that. I say that anyway.
Rex looks at Thuja and he's like, "We need to grab the princess." And then he like puts one foot in the bottom of the ladder and like grabs it, but he's like still butt naked.
Yeah,
and he's just like holding his clothes under his arm.
She grabs your wrist with the other arm, and because it's a TV show, somehow the like cloak you were screwing on is like kind of hanging off the top part of her boobs, so we can't see her naked. And she like, grabs your wrist, and she says, "There isn't much time left for Dead End. Stay here. Wouldn't it be beautiful?" And she like looks around, like she just really is like, "Come on, we could die. We could die boning on this planet while the planet dies with us." She like looks up at you, but you know, because we talked about this before, something has changed, right? Like that huntress like instinct to death mate with you is like fractured a little, and you can feel it, and she can feel it too. But she's trying to hold on to like, no, stay here with me, and we can bone to death. What did you?
He like, it's almost like that. The last 13 hours was him getting it out of his system. Like he just doesn't feel the same, and he just kind of smirks, and he's like, I think maybe what you can feel is that, yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe because it took so long, both of you like you burned it out. Like it's gone. Like you both are like, wait, I don't. She doesn't actually want that, and neither do you, and you know she doesn't. And she knows you don't. So what do you say? I'm like, we got a job to do. Don't flake out now. And then, that's all he says. As he gets airlifted out of the magma.
Okay, so you're going to leave her like naked on this magma island?
No.
Oh, you're going to take her. I see. So you grab her arm, you pull her up. All right, cool. So the two of you get pulled up into the ship.
I just leave her.
Yeah, and she looks at you and she looks around and kind of scowls. And like you can see her struggling with that, and she just like nods and gets on the ladder with you and pulled up onto the ship.
Cool.
Okay.
To the ship, I greet them, and my hair is like a mess. I've been sweating, and I just wiped blood across my face, and I got blood all over my like sort of mechanic suit. And I'm just like, hey, by the way, I need you to help me with something. Someone might have died. It was an accident. I swear, I did not. It was not my fault. It was not my fault.
So
I didn't mean to do it.
Aurora looks like terrible.
Yeah.
Like just like scary and covered in blood and like all kinds of fucked up. And so the two of you and Thuja like are getting onto the ship, and she pulls herself up in the rings, and you're looking at her, and Thuja looks at you, Rex, and she's like, "Was your friend always this hot?" And then kind of like eyeballs you, like little up nod, Aurora, like, "Hey, girl."
Rex like ignores it, and then like
actually does it.
He like steps over this like unconscious one-handed body.
Oh, he's super dead. He bled to death for sure.
Yeah, and he's like looks at Aurora, looks back down at the body.
I point to the claw hand thing, and I'm like, it was not me. The ship malfunctioned.
Yeah, it was that, right? Yeah.
Thuja looks down at the body and then says to you, Rex, she's like, "Oh, look, Rex, she made you lunch."
Oh, you're hungry? Yeah, I could totally make some lunch if you wanted to. Yeah.
Fuck off! I'm not hungry. Rex like walks over to the cockpit and kind of like points out the window, and he's like, "Take us over there. We have to pick someone up."
All right, but I mean, you gotta take care of this because I don't know what to do. That's you. And so I walk back to the cockpit to start navigating where he pointed.
All right, Rex walks back into the back room. And,
we see Thuja. She just shakes her head. She's like, "I'm surrounded by idiots," and she grabs under his arms. She grabs the body and starts like dragging it to another room.
Rex just like hits like the hatch,
and
just like motions to Thuja to like throw the guy out above the magma river.
Yeah, exactly. She's still like mostly naked. She's got like the cloak kind of tied around her, and she's like dragging the body over to the edge, and the wind is like blowing around. She looks down and she's like, "See you later, douchebag," and throws him out of the back of the ship. And we just see the ship, and it's quite high up now. We see a little dot go into the lava and just disappear.
You see his one good hand. It's like this as it just goes into the lava.
Yeah, I think she picks up the severed hand and throws it out after as the thing is closing.
Yeah.
See you later, Dango.
Shuts the hatch and he's like, "Job done." It's back into the cockpit.
So we cut to you, Eugene. Now you got during your lovely dinner with Dwayne and Pebble, you get a message. I don't know where you keep your communicator or how that works, but you get a message.
I'm normally kind of a shade of green, but then I like flash blue a couple times. I'm like, oh, my phone.
I think also this would be good. I like that idea too, that you have some kind of like built-in, like you have like a dispersed nano communicator. But I also like the idea of keeping, and you can go with whichever of these you prefer. I like keeping with the like weirdly old-timey thing where like a waiter comes up with a phone and it's like, "Call for you, sir," and like holds it out to you.
Absolutely. Let's do that. I'm like,
okay.
Oh, why, thank you.
So you reach out and like stick it in, and you can see the waiter just being like, "Ew, I'm gonna have to clean that."
Yeah, I literally put it inside my body.
So yeah,
hello?
so it slowly sinks into you, and there's just this cord coming out, and you hear on the other end, it's one of your like miscellaneous underlings, and they're like, "Hey boss, I got some new news. Maybe it's bad, or it could be good. Neutral. I have neutral news.
Spit it out, buddy.
The thing. So, Virgil, you know how there was the thing where all the employees had to get tracking for the when they die. The dead. So Virgil's dead? The tracker. It's going off. Something happened.
All right. Well, sounds like we gotta take him out of the database, huh, buddy? Can I let you do that?
Yeah. And he's like, well, yeah. So we were gonna, but did you want to? I mean, are we gonna send somebody or?
Come on. Where we sent him, he's fucked. All right. Bye-bye, buddy. I like put the phone down and then like
you extrude the phone, and the like poor waiter is like, eh. And I think he takes out a handkerchief and like covers his hand like he's picking up a dog poop, and he's just like
right. And then I turn to Dwayne and Pebble and I go, "Excuse me for just a moment." And then I like go outside and frantically like start trying to figure out like what's going on there.
Okay. So you put it back, and where do you go? What do you do? What's the plan?
If we're keeping with that feel, I like step outside and there's like a guy in a suit like smoking a cigarette. I'm like, "Hey." And then like
it's like a waiter. Like he's got you go out the back maybe, and so we're in an alley, and there's like an overhead light and a little pool of light. There's a dumpster nearby, and when you open the door, you scare like an alien cat. Right? It's like a cat, but it's green. It's got horns and fucking antennas.
It's a cat with like spider legs.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It looks like a cat, and then the spider legs like come out of it, and it like scrambles up a wall. And yeah, there's a humanoid-looking alien with an apron, just like smoking a space cigarette, shaped like a hexagon. And you open the door, and he come out, and he kind of looks at you.
I from inside of my body, I like extrude like a little mini computer, and in very like classic old movie style, I type in like dead end, and then a big timer shows up for like time until apocalypse. I'm like, oh man, what did those kids get into?
Okay, so do you have an agent in place already? Because you still have behind the scenes, Eugene. We know that you're like manipulating the strings. It'd be perfect. it would be really cool if you were in touch with Adina, because we haven't seen her for a while, and like I totally feel like you and her like have some shit going on, because she's like you. She's got plans within plans.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe you've been like holding off contacting her, but like, yeah. So maybe maybe you think to call her or like contact her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that actually would be a good end to the episode, right? Where you're just like, you get the timer, and there's this little like emergency contact button you haven't pushed yet, and you're like, I don't know. And then do you push it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So boop, you push it, and then the hologram like appears, flickers a couple of times, and then we see the face of Adina, and she takes a breath to speak, but before she can say anything, we cut to black. Sweet. It's all coming together.
I like how Dodger's like more high ground for the whole fucking show, and then like the last scene is her just being as bad as us, if not worse.
What are you talking about?
You know, you sent him there.
The guy you hired, he died, boss. Should we recover his body? Fuck that. Not where I sent him. Later,
I have
bitch.
a reputation to uphold. Excuse me.
Then that's bad.
Yeah.
I didn't cut off a guy's hand. I didn't eat a guy. I didn't shoot a guy into space.
You sound like a mafia boss because you didn't get your hands dirty. You didn't do it because one of your henchmen pulled the trigger. All right.
Whatever.
And to be fair,
I don't have to listen to this.
When I was gonna shoot him, it was gonna be to put out his misery. Thank you. Put him out of his misery.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And my guy was gonna get killed by Thuja. If anything, I spared him.
That hand, huh? Really tried to keep him from bleeding out, huh, Aurora?
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I probably could have saved him. That meant that I had to re-up Sparky.
With the first aid box that's definitely on that ship.
Listen, watch me open it and doves fly out of it or something.
It's believable. Totally believable.
What the hell happened this episode?
All right, we'll save it for the post show. Let's do some shout outs and say goodbye to our dear audience. You're all monsters, by the way, but we'll talk about that more in a bit.
I'm innocent.
Why don't you, innocent Aurora? Why don't you start us off? Give us some shout outs, Pokket.
Hi, my name's Pokket, and I stream what days do I stream? Tuesday through Sunday. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. I'm feeling a little ill, that's why I was quiet today, but I still had a lot of fun listening to everyone else. I'm the best. I'm the nicest out of all of us still. I just, everything was an accident, and I was trying to be nice in the end. So, I feel very innocent.
Totally.
Awesome. Thanks, Pokket. Jesse?
Yo, hi. All my information's up the screen. If you want to come watch me stream, it's on twitch.tv/Shabuzi or on the YouTube's /Jesse Cox. Really? It's all cool, fun stuff. Look, all I'm saying is tomorrow I shoot Hitler in the nuts. It's a video. It happens. It's amazing. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I want to share it with the world.
Good.
Excellent. Thanks, Jesse. Sam?
Hi, guys. I'm Strippin. You can find me at twitch.tv/Strippin. I play games every day around noon PST. Been playing a lot of Darkest Dungeon this week. Had a very bad time yesterday. 17 of my characters died trying to get to the Baron. So that was great. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Strippin. The show's great as always. I had a blast. Looks like we're actually going to meet up soon.
I know, the dream.
Excellent. Thanks, Sam. Dodger?
Hi, everybody. I'm Dodger. I stream on Twitch at DexBonus, and my YouTube is going to be coming back this week. I haven't done anything with it since we got back from England, so it's been a while, but we're going to get back into it. And yeah, come hang out. The new anime season started. I have so many opinions.
All right. Well, thanks for coming, everybody. Especially folks who don't normally tune in at this time. I know this is for the live audience. This is a different time zone for the show. Thanks for coming and checking it out. It was good to get in a Nebula Jazz this week. Y'all did great. If you want to, you can go check out the Q&A for episode 14. It's live at community.itmejp.com right now. So go check that out if you have questions or want to share your admissions of love for the ridiculousness that is this show. We appreciate it. I always check the Q&A myself. You can find me at twitch.tv/Adam Koebel. And this week I'm going to be playing some combination of Dream Daddy and Final Fantasy 12. So if you want to watch me play those, go check that out. Otherwise, I live at twitter.com/SkinnyGhost. So we will see you next time for more Nebula Jazz. Keep an eye on the RollPlay Twitter for scheduling and what have you. We're going to go record the Patreon video. Thanks for coming, everybody. See you later.